Okay. Here we go. Come thou long expected Jesus, born to set thy people free from our fears as is release us. Let us find our rest in thee. Israel's, am I in the right verse? Strength and consolation, oh, of all the earth thou art, dear desire of every nation, joy of every longing heart. Oh, born thy people to deliver, born a child and yet a king, born to reign in us forever. Now thy gracious kingdom bring, by thine own eternal Spirit, rule in all our hearts alone. By thine all-sufficient merit, raise us to thy glorious throne. Oof, that was a little tougher this time. Oh my gosh, what the... Oh no! What was I even looking at? Oh man, I'm alive. Oh, dead! Oh my gosh. That was insane. That was insane. Okay, let's try a different one. Because that one only had 2 verses, and I think I'm somewhat familiar with those. You know what, first though, I want to talk about these lyrics. Come thou long expected Jesus. And just see what pops out to me about these. Because it's really easy to just kind of get into the groove of singing Christmas carols and kind of... and miss an opportunity to, like... you know, really have a moment. You know, one thing I really used to like about visiting Holly's family during Christmas time was they used just a lot more Christmas carols during their Christmas services, during their daytime services. At our church, it's kind of a mix. It's very intentional and purposeful and, you know, wonderful, but I think that they're not choosing to use, like, every song be a Christmas song or whatever, you know. And so I like the opportunity to kind of reflect on some of these songs that, you know, you don't hardly ever think about. Anyway, come thou long expected Jesus, born to set thy people free. That's something that's like... I think we have a little bit of a sense of what it's like to be waiting for a Messiah, but I think in some ways as believers now we're waiting for Messiah in the way that the Jews were. They thought, they were kind of in the mindset he's going to come and conquer and be the kind of like the political world ruler and stuff that he will eventually be, but they didn't understand that he wasn't going to do that right away. So they were expecting this Messiah, born to set thy people free, which again they were thinking in terms of political, you know, like the government and stuff. But here's the follow-up to that. From our fears and sins, release us. Let us find our rest in thee. And that reminds me, I couldn't tell you chapter and verse where this is at, but we're told that, like, the fear of death is like Satan's tool against us, you know? Like everything we do in life, we're under the clock because we know our time is limited, and so we have this fear of death, and so Jesus came to set us free from the fear of death and also the tyranny of the clock, you know? So we can find our rest in Him. Israel's strength and consolation. Yeah, Israel, I mean, was just like... they were just in a mess of a place. both leading up to, I mean, their nation had been, they'd just continually been disobeying God, and so they'd been disciplined by God and scattered all over the place, and they didn't have a functioning government. They had this system of kings that God was ready to bless, but they were not ready to be blessed by God and be humble before Him and be ruled ultimately by Him, with kings as sort of stand-ins or representatives in some sense. And so they were just in a mess. And so, yeah, Israel's strength and consolation, and then it broadens out, hope of all the earth thou art. This is an interesting phrase, dear desire of every nation. And I look at that phrase, and I think the first time I really thought about it, I was like, what do you mean, dear desire of every nation? There are nations all over the world that have no interest in Jesus. But I think it's getting at the reality that Jesus is the fulfillment of our deepest desires, and the people don't realize that. But He is the ultimate fulfillment. We can begin experiencing that fulfillment now, and we will fully experience it in His eternal kingdom. He is the desire of every human heart, the desire of every nation, and joy of every longing heart. So that's really insightful. All right, second verse, different from the first. Born thy people to deliver, born a child and yet a king. And that's something that, I really try to come back to that repeatedly, because it's so, the baby Jesus story, that's it's so ingrained. It's cute. I think for most Christians, at least for me, we know that story as a cute thing before we know it as a mind-blowing thing. And so I've tried with my boys as young as they are, to give them a sense of the wonder of that this is God who became this very fragile, dependent infant. That's mind-blowing to me, that He would let go of so much, that He would still be God. And there's so many questions about what was the nature of the incarnation, what did Jesus know, and what's the difference? Is there a difference between Him knowing things in His humanity and knowing things in His divine nature? There's so much really fascinating stuff there that does drill down to some very relevant topics that have to do with how we are rescued, how our sins are paid for. I mean, it all really becomes relevant, but when it's up here in kind of this academic realm, it's fascinating, I think. Anyway, but yeah, born a child and yet a king at the same time, born to reign in us forever. So again, I think they're coming back to this idea that his kingdom, His rule, they were expecting Jesus, but He just came and did something totally different from what they were expecting. He didn't set up this political reign. He came to reign in us, to start His reign in us that will last forever, that will eventually involve a tangible political reign. And then the pleading, now thy gracious kingdom bring. And that's pairing that word gracious with kingdom, man. That'll be amazing to see how He rules. Because we humans screw it up, we get iron-fisted, we get power-hungry, or we fall short in bringing about justice, but He's going to have this perfect reign that is also gracious. What else here? By thine own eternal Spirit, rule in all our hearts alone. That word alone stands out to me. Rule in our hearts, no other rulers in our hearts, just You, Jesus. Through Your Spirit, be the one ruler in our heart. By thine all-sufficient merit, that's definitely related to justification. Raise us to thy glorious throne. It's because of His merit, His goodness, that we can be raised up one day to His glorious throne. And I think there's a sense that we are, is it in Hebrews or Ephesians, where there's a sense in which we are at His throne. with Christ or in Christ or something. There's some interesting stuff going on there that I don't know off the top of my head. But anyway, all right. So I'm going to try and sing number 165. Good Christian men rejoice. And let's just make things interesting. I will attack this sentinel. Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. I'm not going to get anywhere in this song. Now you hear of endless bliss. This is not the first verse. News, news. Jesus Christ was born for this. Calls you one and calls you all to gain his everlasting hall. Christ was born for this. Christ was born for this. Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Now ye need not fear the grave. News, news. Jesus Christ was born to save. Calls. Did I do calls you one already? Calls you one. And no. Now calls you never fat and night and fading fat is in your pants. Night for this. This was born for this. What's the first verse? I'm not going to look at it. Let me see if I can figure it out. Change weapon mode. Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Voice with heart and soul and voice. Am I out of... What, I gotta reload or something? It's not, I'm not remembering it at all. What the heck is it? Give ye heed. Give ye heed to what we say. News, news, Jesus Christ was born today. Which is not really accurate. I don't think we know the date of his birth. It's certainly not December 25th. As I was so proud of my youngest son Titus. You know, I had to tell him, you know, make sure that you're not making other kids, you know, feel bad or, you know. But he said that at school today, some kids were saying that Jesus was born on December 25th, and he said, no, he wasn't. No one knows when he was born, you know. I was like, good for you, kiddo, because we don't know the exact date. We just celebrated on the 25th, and. You know, I said, but, you know, don't, you know, you're correct about that, but, you know, just try not to make any kids feel bad for not knowing that. And he said, well, some kids ask their parents. And I said, yeah, a lot of parents are confused about that, too. Oh, geez. Oh, stack that one up, Francisco. I need to be leaving. Oh, jeez! Wait, did I ever finish that verse? Good Christian men rejoice with heart and soul and voice. Give ye heed to what we say. News, news, Jesus Christ is born today. Calls you one and calls. Give ye heed to what we say. News, Jesus Christ is born today. Oh my gosh. That's not helping at all. Oh! Yeah, it's the... If you knew these lyrics, you're probably like waiting for me to sing them. Oxen ass before him bow, and he is in the manger now. Christ is born today. Christ is born today. Okay. Oh, jeez! I'm sorry! I am so sorry. I'm gonna leave. I gotta get out of here. Oh my gosh. Get in the ship. Don't blow up my ship, okay? I'm going. Go! Oh! Crap. They are not... That was... I did not predict that. Okay. Okay, what's the song? Oh, yeah. What child is this who lay to rest on Mary's lap is sleeping, whom angels greet with anthems sweet? while shepherds watch are keeping. This is Christ the King, whom I should take it a little faster. Shepherds worship and angels sing. Haste, haste to bring him praise, the babe, the Son of Mary. Why lies he in such mean estate, where ox and ass are feeding? Come have no fear. These words are a little bit different maybe than what you've heard. Come have no fear, God's Son is here. His love all loves exceeding. And then alternate choruses. Nail, spear shall pierce him through. The cross bore for me and you. Hail, hail the... Oh, there's two ways you can finish this. You can go, Savior comes, but I think I prefer Word made flesh, the babe, the Son of Mary. So bring him incense, gold, and myrrh. And then there you can do Come Peasant King. But I prefer all tongues and people own him. Or as Steve Green does there, own him, the King of Kings, salvation brings. And then you can do Let Every Heart, or you can do Let Longing Hearts Enthrone. I know this one a little too well, maybe. Him. I've sung it, I've performed it a number of times. It's been a while since I performed it, but... Raise, give me that your song on high, while Mary sings a lullaby. Joy, joy, for Christ is born, the babe, the Son of Mary. All right, bonus. Oh, wait. Yeah, bonus. We'll try to move on to the next one, since I made it through that one. What was the other one? Angels from the Realms of Glory? Angels from the realms of glory, or realm of glory, maybe? I'm not sure. So I think there's different traditions with these songs, that sometimes there are little differences. Wing your flight o'er all the earth, ye who sang creation's story, now proclaim Messiah's birth. Come and worship, worship Christ the newborn King. Shepherds in the fields abiding, watching o'er your flocks by night. God with man is now residing, yonder shines the infant light. Come and worship, worship Christ the newborn King. This one's a little less familiar to me. Sages, leave your contemplations, brighter visions beam afar. Seek the great desire of nations, ye have seen his natal star. Come and worship, worship Christ the newborn King. Is there one after Sages? What's the one after Sages? Oh, I don't have the right page open. 168. Keep running. Too far. I'm running this way now. Oh yeah, that's right. I know this. This one. Get him, Abby. Saints before the altar bending, watching long in hope and fear. Suddenly the Lord descending in his temple shall appear. Come and worship, worship Christ the newborn King. Come and worship, worship Christ the newborn King. Woo! All this talking, I can hear my voice fatiguing on me, getting just a little bit more breathy, a little more difficult to phonate. Hark the herald, oh angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Is it Christ by highest heaven adored that's next? I'll try. Christ by highest heaven adored, Christ the everlasting Lord. Late in time, behold him come, offspring of a virgin's womb. Veiled in flesh, the Godhead see. There's that rich theology there for you, Nathan. Hail the incarnate deity, pleased as man with men to dwell. Jesus our Emmanuel. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Blah, 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 I don't know. Gosh, if I try to turn pages here, I'm gonna get killed. What verse am I forgetting? This fight might last long enough that your answer could be helpful if you get it to me fast enough. Oh! Oof, I don't want that. Oh! Okay, see you, Nathan. Thanks so much. Have a Merry Christmas. Did I do Christ by highest heaven adored? Yeah, Christ by highest heaven adored. Christ the everlasting Lord. Yeah, I did that one. Well, he's hurting. He's getting closer. I might be close to having him here. Sharpen. Sharpen. There we go. Oh, nice! Oh, jeez. Alright. So what two did I just sing? Good Christian Men Rejoice? Was that one? 165. Don't have as much time for the last two, so I'll have to split it up. I won't talk about every phrase here. Let's see here. What pops out? Now ye hear of endless bliss, joy, joy, Jesus Christ was born for this. See, I really think that, and this is something that, like, our senior pastor, he's not our senior pastor anymore, he retired recently, and his son is, they had like a 3-year transition period that was just great, and his son is awesome. But when I was working for the senior pastor we had for years as a worship pastor, I asked him what he thought we needed more in worship songs, and he thought we really needed more songs about heaven. We needed more songs talking about the hope that we are looking ahead to, because in this life we will have trouble, but take heart, Christ has overcome the world, and that means that we are promised endless bliss and rescue from all this crap if we trust in Him. And so I think that phrase, so heavenly minded, he's no earthly good, has probably done some damage, because maybe it seems impractical to people. Like, oh, well, it's fixating on heaven. You should focus on the here and now, what you can do here and now. I think fixating on heaven and the hope of heaven is what can give us the strength to buckle down and do some difficult things now. Yeah, he has opened the heavenly door, and man is blessed forevermore. Same kind of similar idea. Now you need not fear the grave. Yeah, that's the same idea as that other song. Yeah. We're so paralyzed by fear and by the clock. I know that's certainly true of me, especially the clock, which ultimately is connected to fear of death and the brevity of life. The other one I sang is Angel. I tried to sing Angels from the Realms of Glory, right? Let's see here. Oh, I like this phrase, ye who sang creation's story now proclaim Messiah's birth. Just like these immortal creatures that have lived for who knows how long. Just like an insane amount of time. It's just interesting to just be cognizant of the fact that we have these witnesses that are watching. What have they seen, and what are they marveling at now? I like the third verse in Angels from the Realms of Glory. Sages, leave your contemplations, brighter visions beam afar. I think that speaks even to like those who study philosophy today in the secular, like mainstream university setting, and it's kind of an empty discipline. They give philosophy a bad name because they're just talking about all these nice ideas, and it doesn't really come home to be practical. They've really, their brand of philosophy, that mainstream brand of secular philosophy, is just empty. It's not searching for truth. It's not searching for knowledge, which is the whole idea behind, of this philosophy, the word philosophy. Anyway, but leave your contemplations, brighter visions beam afar. Seek the great desire of nations, ye have seen his natal star. It's talking again about the wise men, but I think there's parallels there. Last verse, saints before the altar bending, watching long in hope and fear. Man, our worship pastor, in her prayer this last Sunday, was just kind of bringing out the fact that we are celebrating his first coming right now in this season, but Christmas is such a mixed season. It's just got the mess is very present. It comes to the forefront when we've lost people or when family relationships are difficult. This is, sometimes the most difficult time of year, and so even while we're celebrating his first coming, we feel maybe more than any other time of year, a longing to be rescued, and she kind of diverted that toward, urging us to long for his second coming. And so it was a really neat kind of connection that she made there. Watching long in hope and fear, suddenly the Lord descending in his temple shall appear. Anyway, won't comment any more on that, but good stuff.